show you some qigong forms in a little while, and I think we'll do this outside, alongside the temple building with some fans and as a cover. Just need perhaps some more room would be good. Let me say a little bit about the logic behind this and behind the way I'm teaching using the body or embodiment. Again, because it's so common, we kind of assume the body is the thing we see. Lots of these bodies around, we see them. That's a visual impression, remember? So you actually get very direct into what you're experiencing. You see something, right? Very familiar thing. Well, that's the body. But you know for sure, that's not what it feels like. It's a completely different experience, isn't it? Which is the real one. One is an object of visual consciousness. It's an object of visual consciousness. If you close your eyes, it disappears. Is that right? Or you remember it in your mind, then it becomes an object of mental consciousness. So direct experience, we're just quietly noticing what actually happens without adding anything or subtracting anything. When I open my eyes, I see bodies. When I close my eyes, they disappear. That's not a body. That's a visual thing. Because I don't think you have disappeared. I can remember the names, the faces. That's a mental experience, isn't it? Right? And then, of course, dependent upon that, I might remember a name, or I might think, oh, she doesn't look very well, or he's a interesting-looking person, or something, or whatever I may think about that. That's my ideas. That's not there. That's here, isn't it? In my consciousness. Now, when I talk about this body, this one, which I don't see very often. I don't see much of it, and I almost never see the back of it. But I believe there is one, because everybody else has one, so I assume that I have one. But I've never seen it directly. Photograph, maybe, that's it. So that visual sense of my body is really just an illusion. It's not what I'm living in, right? So when you say, what's the body that you live in, that you feel you are, that you feel you have? Directly, what do you experience directly? Well, you experience objects of bodily consciousness. What is body consciousness? The experience of touch, right? Physical sensation. You've got a hand because you can feel that set of sensations when you hold something. That's the body's impression of a body. That's very different, because if I let go of something with my hand disappears. Right? And my back is hardly ever there. So, right? What is this that we're in, that we seem to be in? Are we in it? Or is it just impressions that arise according to different bases of consciousness? Visual, tactile. And another thing, we feel a certain sense of an energy occurring. So when I close my eyes, some sense of, there's a weight here, a sense of warmth, something moving, breathing in and out. When I get up, I feel it balances. There's a balancing experience. Yeah. As he moves along, I can feel this living quality of something happening. Right? Breathing in and out, moving the jaws, chewing, eating, stretching, lying down. And the Buddha says, well, when we're cultivating mindfulness, we should be mindful of this body. Walking, sitting, scratching, chewing, lying down, bathing, whatever it does. So you're aware of these various objects arising, being sensed, being experienced. Yeah? And as you contemplate, you notice every one of them just gone, moves through, pulses, gone. Yeah. And so then just aware of that. And he says, just enough to establish clear knowing and full awareness. Use this body, these various experiences we have that we call a body, just so that we get that clear awareness. This is happening. This is an event. It's not a thing. It's not a thing, it's an event. Moment by moment flow of events. Yeah? So what's the point of that? Well, because the quality that is aware of these events, experiences of physical stuff, you touched into something rather special. It's clear knowing. Doesn't think, it just is pure awareness. This is now, if you stay with that quality of knowing, you can also begin to go quite deep, because as you do, you notice within all that, the thing that really gets active is feeling. When you feel pleasant feeling, painful feeling, something starts getting very active. Right? Don't want that. I want that. I want more of that. Don't want that. Resisting. Yeah? And this feeling, based upon two bases, only two things. One, what your body feels. One, what your mind feels. Now, if the body is constantly shifting and changing, the base of feeling is moving along quite this, that. The mind can stick onto a memory and have a lot of painful feeling stuck. It doesn't know how to release it. It doesn't know how to release it. You get stuck. Painful memory. Painful experience. I don't like myself very much. Stuck. I wish I could be something else. All based upon uncomfortable feeling, mental feeling. And what is the basis of that mental feeling? Is it the sight? Sound? Touch? What's the basis of mental feeling? Well, she said this, that was really uncomfortable. He did that, that was really painful. She's always like this, it's really annoying. What's the basis of that? I don't like it. I don't like it. Shouldn't be like this. It's not right. I don't want that. I want this. Oh, what's the basis of that? I. And what's the basis of that? Grasping. It's not a real person. That I, that calls itself I, is not actually a person, not an identity, not you. It's a grip, a grasping, 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 holding. And it affects. Yeah. So in this way, the citta, the heart, gets affected by this grip. It gets agitated, it gets pressurized, it gets hungry. I want something else, I don't want this, I want something else. It gets tight. It loses its capacity to be free because of this grip. And grip is because of feeling. The basis of feeling triggers quality called tanha. I want, I don't want. Therefore the grip. Feel something, want, don't want, grip. So is it possible that instead of following that, we could return through this experience to what gives the heart the support so it doesn't grip. It has to feel comfortable with allowing things to change. Yeah. We start with bodily experiences. You don't have to have a permanent body. You can let it change. I don't just mean getting old. I mean you can let it change from 1 hour to the next, 1 moment to the next. Feel the changes. Don't hold on to the impression. Feel the changes. And make that experience something that you rather enjoy. Yeah. What helps us to do that? We experience vitality moving through the body. Yeah. It's flowing, changing. Because with tactile impressions, it very much depends upon the world outside. Yeah. You can't make hot cold, you can't make cold hot. But inside you can experience the body suddenly feeling spacious, settled, quiet, changing. And you can clearly know that. And your heart feels comfortable, spacious. When it senses that, it begins to relinquish the grip of craving. Yeah. Saying you can have this or you can have that, which gives rise to better results. You can have qualities that you hold on to, a sense of gripping, holding, planning, remembering, or you could have this, which is very open and free. So we practice with this. And this also encourages us to sustain sati. Sati mindfulness, whereby you stretch your attention, instead of just jumping from one thing to the next, just stays and you stretch it. So instead of it just being 1/2 a second long, then on to the next thing, you make it, well, let's make it 3 seconds long. 1, 2, 3, okay. Got that? We'll make it 10 seconds long. Same 10. Yeah. Oh, you get it to stretch your attention to 10 seconds, you'll notice within that you're aware of change. Within 10 seconds, you experience phenomena changing. Stretch it wider. 20 seconds, 30 seconds. Certainly you see things change. And this begins to relinquish that grip of craving, gripping me, this, that, this, that, this, that, this, that, this, that. Just stay. Don't grip anything. How do you do that? Very difficult for the mind to do it, so you say just bring it over to your body. So you hold the whole body for 20 seconds, 30 seconds. Oh. Hold the body, which is the body you directly feel. Even though it's changing, you directly feel the flow of energy. Hold your attention there for 30 seconds, 40 seconds. Just what's possible. Change. The agitation in the mind begins to calm down. Because it's now, the awareness is now picking up something steady. The hunger, how hungry the mind is. Give me something to think about. Let's look at my phone. Let's read a book. Send a text to somebody. Next thing. Give me something to put in my mind, to fill it up with something. So it gets like this, like a hungry bird. Just stay there. And let that agitation in the mind begin to settle. It's feeding on simple body energy, which is not defiled, not agitated, but calming. You're going to get the right results. Calming, steadying. And aspects, habits of grasping, habits of agitation begin to be released. You get steadiness, calming, samadhi. You begin to see things more clearly. So let's take some time, go outside, and those of you who'd like to participate, we'll spend a period of time, half an hour, 40 minutes, do some qigong. And it's not physically strenuous. It's always quite gentle, and of course you can do as much as you want and as little as you want.